Hello to everyone. This is class number 4, and at the beginning of the class I'm going to talk now about an article that was assigned for reading. This is an article written by Barney, and the title of the article is Firm Resources and Sustained Competitive Advantage. This article presents a view of what's called the resources-based view of strategy. It's a school of thought among academics who specialize in strategy. And the basic idea is that a firm will be successful if it has resources with the right attributes and characteristics. And so therefore the title, Firm Resources and Sustained Competitive Advantage, implying that if you have the right resources, you'll obtain a sustained competitive advantage, leading to superior profitability. So again, the article examines the link between firm resources and sustained competitive advantage. It's part of the resource-based view of strategy, which I'd ask you to remember. And the author argues that there are 4 empirical indicators, and by empirical he means indicators that can be proven historically or shown historically to have the potential to generate sustained competitive advantage for a firm. And those 4 attributes or indicators or characteristics of resources are value. Resources are valuable, they're rare, they're hard to imitate or inimitable, and they are hard to substitute. We'll talk a little bit more about each of these 4 attributes. So first, some definitions. What are resources? Resources can be physical resources such as property, plant, and equipment, human resources, or organizational resources or capabilities. And resources can be tangible or intangible. A tangible resource would be an asset, property, plant, or equipment, or they can be intangible. Intangible resources would be patents, intellectual property, copyrights, trademarks, or know-how. This model, the model developed by Barney, assumes that resources can be heterogeneous and immobile to varying degrees. They can't be moved all over, and they're not all of one kind. Valuable resources are resources that improve the effectiveness or efficiency of a company and help address an opportunity or minimize a threat. So here again, the terminology of opportunity and threat is used, just like in SWOT analysis. So a resource is valuable if it improves the effectiveness or efficiency of the operation and it helps the enterprise or the company address an opportunity or minimize a threat. It also helps if resources are rare or not readily available to competitors. Third, it also helps if resources are hard to substitute. They have low substitutability. A competitor cannot substitute some other equally valuable resource for the resource that the firm has. Fourth, resources contribute to competitive advantage if they are hard to imitate. And the author makes the point that firms that do not possess these resources cannot obtain them easily because of, and he lists a couple of possibilities. One is historical dependence. In other words, the resources were originally obtained because of being in the right place at the right time. The company just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And other firms cannot reproduce the historical conditions under which the resources were originally obtained. Secondly, there's some causal ambiguity, meaning that if somebody's looking from the outside, they can't really tell how the resources came about. It's hard to figure out what resources are creating success. Third, there's some social complexity. There's something going on inside the company, interpersonal relationships, reputation among suppliers, customers, relationships with the suppliers and the customers. Something that's hard for another firm to understand and to imitate. So that's the basic idea of the article. He assumes, as we said, that firms' resources are heterogeneous and they're also somewhat immobile, and that if resources have the right attributes, they produce sustained competitive advantage for the enterprise. And the right attributes, again, are value. The resources are valuable, they're rare, they're hard to imitate, they're inimitable because of one of the three reasons. There's either some historical dependence, some causal ambiguity, or some social complexity. And then finally, the resources are hard to substitute. So this article, I think, is important because it is a good summary of the resource-based view of strategy. It is somewhat academic in nature, but I think you can summarize it very well just in this one diagram. The author is saying that a firm's success is a function of its resources and capabilities, and to be successful, the resources and capabilities of a firm must have certain characteristics or attributes. They must be valuable, they must be rare, they must be inimitable, hard to imitate, and they must be hard to substitute. And that's the whole article. There are other articles another article that we're going to review next that takes a little bit different view of the resource-based view of strategy.